Did you know if you drop a like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, nothing will happen but it will put a giant smile on my face? So finally, in the world of Fortnite Season 8, we've seen the 18.21 update go live, and despite this bringing the first map change to perhaps what should have been at the start of the season, being the cube town in the centre of the island, alongside starting the main part of the Fortnitemares event introducing a boss into the sideways, free rewards we can not only earn that are Ghostbusters themed but Fortnitemares predominantly too, and despite the in-game items, pretzel shaped of which appeal to the Halloween theme being questionable, what if I told you that the most interesting part of Fortnitemares, or an outcome of this Halloween event occurring, is yet to happen. In today's video, as you can see by the title, we're going to be going over, yes of course, with the introduction of the Cube Queen, and both Fortnitemares trailers obviously being predominantly based around her or introducing her, the Fortnite Halloween live event or Fortnitemares live event for 2021, and with so much obviously revealing that this is going to happen at some point anyways, whether it is on Halloween itself or even after Fortnitemares ends, let's just say you not only don't want to miss out on any details or giveaways in game, but a ton of secrets based off what's in the game's coding that data miners have managed to find, which what we're going to be going over today. If that hasn't already convinced you to sit back, relax and grab your favourite snacks too, yeah, stick around and watch the full thing, then do it for my pug Gus, as he's also kind of still a little bit sad from discovering that 70% of all eyes on screen right now watching the videos aren't subscribed. Our goal for the end of the year I'm going to set to 2.3 million. It's reachable, we can get there if everybody hits that big red button right now, and despite it benefiting you by keeping you up to date or in the loop with everything in the world of Fortnite as soon as I post, if you turn on all notifications, don't ever forget that I give 5 subscribers every day, which as of recently has been tons of the Fortnitemares or Halloween skins. So of course, if you want to be added and receive a gift, make sure you're subscribing to the channel with all notifications turned on, and then comment your Epic Games ID down below and potentially what you'd like to receive. And yeah, just like this, in the very next video, you perhaps could be shown on screen gifted in front of hundreds of thousands of eyes to see. But with that said now, considering the storyline's about to kick into overdrive and end off even not just this season but this chapter, we need to get into it also, of course, make sure you don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere!
I'm not, I'm sitting on my
Don't
back.
go anywhere!
Okay, so one of the first things to note of course, is the release of the trailer today, not only just for Fortnitemares showing everything brand new about the new Halloween event for 2021, but more specifically this one introducing what's inside this fair above the Cube Town being the Cube Queen itself. And despite obviously before we loaded up the game this being revealed to be the Cube Queen across social media, or our first look to what she looks like in herself, I'm going to roll that clip in its raw form now because there's some secrets that you've perhaps missed if you've already seen it, or if you haven't, here is the clip on screen right now.
The time for games is over. Leave nothing behind.
Despite this not being what everybody anticipated the Cube Queen to look like initially, I definitely think Epic Games first and foremost have gone with a very unique design that I think a lot of people are going to take to or like. And from showing this trailer in itself, despite her being in-game now in this fair above the Cube Town, before we hop more into the details about the developments that are going to be made here, let's not forget, considering she talked in this trailer that I just played, her voice was actually revealed to us on day 1 of Chapter 2 Season 8, being the voice in the background of the Chapter 2 Season 8 Battle Pass trailer, basically stating once again her intentions for the Fortnite world, that nothing of this island or place that we inhabit, being the Fortnite island in itself, will remain, at least once she's done with her plan being executed for it anyways. Of course, with that small Easter egg in mention or reference made to the Battle Pass trailer in terms of the Cube Queen's voice, or now what it's linked to in terms of an identity, speaking about her identity and how she appears for the first time that we can see literally in-game right now herself, above the Convergence, which is the name location obviously of which we initially expected to be called Cube Town, or under the codename Cube Town before today in the files. Within this sphere itself that actually acts kind of like the cubes, considering we bounce off it just like when we, you know, go over any of the cubes in this particular Convergence area or Cube Town. Believe it or not, she's actually a lot bigger than the size of our normal Fortnite characters, meaning yes, she's definitely going to be very powerful, and even more frightening, this may not just be the final form she can take to actually, you know, make sure everything is eliminated or nothing remains on our Fortnite island. The reason we know this is because if it isn't already giving you vibes of of the Ice Storm event from Chapter 1 Season 7, where the Ice King actually took shards from the cube in itself and used its power to raise a giant hologram form of himself or aura form in the water and then sweep the map full of snow, with him inside the sphere only literally being the same size as Fortnite characters that flew around him in the airplanes that were newly implemented in Chapter 1 Season 7. This then either means that the Fortnite Cube Queen is going to be even more powerful or bigger in the final form of which she can achieve from harnessing the energy of the cubes of which she's currently holding, and then of course from achieving said final form could do even more than just sweep the map entirely full of snow, but this sideways dimension of which seems to be only a small bubble or small bubbles on the map now in our Fortnite reality from the reality of where she's from initially. And despite this sideways reality of which the Cube Queen is initially from growing ever so more in the Fortnite island within these particular bubbles themselves, potentially again before she sweeps the entire map full of the sideways dimension or darkness, which could be the case on a particular date from obviously breaking out of this sphere once she's harnessed the power of the cube shards that she's currently holding that we can see. My best guess in terms of when this could happen personally or why it will happen is around Halloween being either October 28th or October 31st being, yeah, Halloween itself. The reason for the first date mentioned there, October 28th, is because we literally can unlock her for the first time and her 2 pages of rewards in this coming soon section that still isn't revealed in the battle pass, although we know what she looks like now in game. And of course October 31st, well, it's Halloween, and one thing that makes me believe that it won't happen this date despite it being the main event itself for Fortnitemares or the main day of it celebrated, literally what it's based around, is because Fortnite's audience is predominantly children, and yeah, children will want to be out trick-or-treating and doing fun things like dressing up in real life instead of obviously on Fortnite. And now before we get into some juicy intel about what's been found in the game's coding in terms of developments for the Convergence area or even the Cube Queen that's actually above it currently kind of powering it or stealing the power from it, of which has been made clear to us in today's downtime update from data miners finding particular things in the files that are yet to happen. Speaking of updates in themselves, Epic Games aren't slowing down in terms of pumping these out, the big downtime updates, or making them occur with new content, as 18.30 is currently on the staging servers, meaning it's going to be releasing next week, as Epic Games have fully completed it and have had it on the testing servers, made sure it's okay to release for everybody, the public in Fortnite. This particular update's only important in my opinion in revealing what's going to be happening or giving us an idea anyways, because of the fact we don't currently have a timer above the Cube Queen in game. Usually with every single event that occurs, obviously in the particular area of which it occurs in, there's like a week countdown or 10 days initially before it happens, letting all players know if they don't follow Fortnite across social media just in game, that something when this timer ends is going to be happening and it's going to be completely huge, so to get ready for it. On the other hand though, we know the Cube Queen's going to play a big part not only in terms of the end of this season if there's not a Halloween live event or it particularly takes place over the Fortnitemares period, as not only was she mentioned in this leaked list of Season 8 information of which all has come true so far despite literally just the rideable monsters and the Chapter 3 stuff, and let's not forget here it states yes, she's going to be largely involved in Chapter 3, meaning perhaps this Season 8 right now could be the last season in Chapter 2 instead of it going up to Chapter 2 Season X, having Season 9 and then Season X itself, with us also referring to the other points on here about Chapter 3, obviously involving the Foundation, of which we now know the location for, with him being the leader of the 7 and obviously the location of the 7 being revealed in Chapter 3 and it bringing a brand new map which was expected obviously based off the transition from Chapter 1 into Chapter 2 with a new map, and with the validity of information on here being true anyways, most of it, despite the Naruto, which hasn't come to the game yet that Epic Games changed their mind on. Of course this then could mean if she's going to be largely involved in Chapter 3, this live event could be taking place literally the day before December 5th, of which is when this season ends. The plan for the Cube Queen, however, as we've subtly been told, although we think it's kind of an exaggeration when she says it, is that nothing will remain of the Fortnite realm, of which we know now being the Chapter 2 island once her plan is set out or complete or even done or in full effect. So let's not forget to take whatever she says completely serious now, considering we know yes, it's definitely going to be happening, the takeover of the island, despite just in these sideways bubbles from her dimension. And we furthermore know that that's going to be the case in general across the map, as permanent map changes instead of these randomly occurring bubbles from the sideways dimension in our Fortnite world, because of the fact data miners today were able to find that the Cube Queen is most likely going to corrupt a large portion of the map, if not all of it, at some point, because they added this earlier today with a Cube Town corruption spread thing, and now it makes sense. Of course then Hypex here refers to a previous tweet that he put out about a new corruption named Cube Town Corruption will start when basically downtime lifts, meaning well there's slowly going to be a spread outwards in a radial kind of manner from the center of the island of this convergence or converting Cube Town area. What would be cool for a live event to end off this season is not only a giant boss in game or giant thing appearing appearing on the edge of the map, perhaps if it does replicate what happened with the Ice King, with her being a queen and also looking like the Ice Queen's wife being this queen-like character that was in the item shop. Of course, if she replicated Galactus in being kind of like a giant interactive boss fight, and no, I'm not talking about a boss fight in terms of what happened with the Storm King in the center of the island, something that's one time only and obviously happens at a certain point once all developments are made and basically a countdown timer has been implemented and ended, so everybody knows to take part. And then again, from just like the Galactus event 2, from the scale of it and everything happening within it, with us going back into the black hole and downtime occurring for Season 5, maybe this happens from the destruction of Witch's cause from all three sides participating in this, perhaps the Foundation from perhaps coming back into our reality from currently the Gotham universe, and with Dr. Sloan approaching the redacted bunker and set to open the doors for the first time in Chapter 2 out of all 8 seasons we've seen currently or been teased toward, this being a big part. And with us knowing not only the capabilities of the Foundation being able to contain the 0 point, but Dr. Sloan obviously destroying the mothership and blowing it up, which was actually bigger than the island. All three capabilities of all three sides here opposing each other will definitely be catastrophical in terms of an outcome or a situation for the current Fortnite island we're on, no matter how big it is, whether it's bigger than our previous island, whether it's smaller than the mothership, you name it, things are about to go down or get very interesting. As for right now though, in terms of the information about that, that's all I've got for you guys in this video, so to stay up to date as soon as more intel pours out in terms of the ending of this season, the start of next chapter, or even this live event, make sure you're subscribing to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you get instantly updated as soon as I put all the information in an easy to understand format in one short video. Leave a like on this one if you want to keep referring back to it, or if you simply enjoyed it and want to share it with a friend and have it saved somewhere, I guess, that's easy to remember. Speaking of other videos, however, make sure to click anything on screen right now, interact with any of the buttons, and most importantly, hopefully I can catch you, yes, you the individual watching right now, but in the very next video I do post on the channel.